Hey, it's Kyle here, and the second episode of the Book of Boba Fett has came out, so I thought I'd give my kind of instant review for it. Overall, I really love this episode. There were a lot of kind of positive aspects of it that I really enjoyed, so I wanted to kind of highlight those. Before I get into my review, just as a reminder, if you have yet, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Now on to the second episode of the Book of Boba Fett. Some of the elements of this story that I really enjoyed, and I should say before I get started, there will be some spoilers in this, so if you haven't seen the episode yet, maybe refrain from watching this until you've seen it. But again, to get back to some of the elements that I enjoyed, I really enjoyed how the episode was organized this time, where you had basically divided in two halves. The first half, the episode kind of covered the present. The second half was a flashback. And I kind of preferred that format to the first episode, which was constantly going back and forth between the past and the present. I felt like it kind of didn't give enough time to either storyline to kind of get in a groove before it went back to the other one. It just felt a slight choppy. It was my few complaints about the first episode. So having it divided neatly in half, I kind of liked that flow better. It just felt like it kind of gave both stories a chance to shine on their own instead of being constantly cut off by the other one and kind of losing their momentum. So I love that format. I hope it feels like they're still going to do some more flashbacks in the next episode. If they do, I hope they'll kind of keep this format from episode 2. A lot of the other stuff I enjoyed about episode 2 were kind of the debut of some new characters or groups. So probably the thing that made me most excited was the debut of the twins. I'm super excited to see the Hutts enter the storyline. I wasn't really sure if we'd be getting any Hutt characters in this series or not. And I was super excited when they show up, and it seemed like they're being set up to be the bad guy for at least the next few episodes. I'm not sure if they'll be for the entire season, but it feels like it's going that way. And seeing them on the screen again, I got so excited. So I'm definitely looking forward to see where those characters go and how they drive the action for the rest of the season. Kind of going to the segment that was going towards the past, I was super excited to see the Pikes, the Pike Syndicate, actually being depicted on the series. I wasn't sure if initially when I was seeing the train, job, I was trying to figure out like who's on there yet before they showed too much. And once I realized who it was, like, oh, this is really cool. I'm enjoying kind of see these little aspects of Star Wars history coming forward to the Book of Boba Fett. So I thought that was a neat thing that kind of involved them in the storyline. The Pikes have always been a group I've always kind of wanted to see more content about, because every time I've seen them, I've really enjoyed them a lot. I think they make very compelling villains, so I'm kind of interested to see where the Pike Syndicate goes on the rest of the series. Was this maybe their only appearance, or they'll be in it more? The other thing I really enjoyed was the mayor's office and the kind of the dynamic there. I think part of that comes to I work for a local city, so I'm kind of in that environment of kind of a local government worker and that type of stuff, and kind of seeing like the front desk clerk and all that interaction until they're eventually handed off to the mayor, just kind of seeing that dynamic. I really found it very funny and interesting. It kind of reminded me almost like if you combined Parks and Rec and Star Wars into this little thing. I'm really hopeful that we'll see more of the mayor and that kind of dynamic going with or against Boba Fett, depending on how the storyline develops. But if we don't get much more of the mayor, maybe the mayor is being replaced in the storyline by the Hutts, and that'll be the main focus going forward. But I'm kind of hoping we'll still see a little bit of that mayor stuff, because I think if anything, it could be some nice comedic moments, and again, it's something I kind of relate to personally, so maybe I enjoyed it a little bit more than other people will. Overall, like both storylines, the present and the past, I enjoyed in this episode. I had a couple small, I guess, negatives or things I didn't quite like, or small little changes. The past storyline, I felt like could have been a little shorter, maybe just like 3 to 4 minutes off that storyline. A couple points I felt like it was dragging a little bit, but that was a very small thing. I think honestly, at that length is perfectly fine. It's just me personally, I was like, I could probably used a little bit less, some of the training montages and stuff like that. Just a little, 30 seconds off here, 10 seconds off here. I think it kind of maybe would have been slightly had a better flow to it. But again, that's a very small critique. And another one's not necessarily a critique for this episode, but I guess kind of something I'm hoping to see in the future episodes is I want to kind of see more of an edge to Boba Fett a little bit. I know his entire, first couple episodes, he keeps on emphasizing he wants to rule by respect, not fear. But then we saw him in The Mandalorian, and he was this hardcore fighter, and he didn't seem to be hesitant at all to kind of resort to violence to get what he wanted. And even also at the end of The Mandalorian, when he just came in and strolled in and just killed everybody in the place to take his seat of power. So I want him to see that turn that switch a little bit and kind of show people like, hey, I'm still that Boba Fett. You have a reason to fear me. And at the moment, I'm not sure if the characters in the series, especially in the present, really fear Boba Fett. I think they almost have a feeling like, oh, this is not the same old Boba Fett. He's lost his edge. He's washed up. And I think they need to see that he still has it. So I'm really excited to see that moment. But overall, that was my feeling on episode 2 of the Boba Fett. The Book of Boba Fett, I should say. Let me know in the comment section below what you liked and what you didn't like about episode 2. Very excited for episode 3. I tried to think if I had any big predictions, and I can't really think of anything other than one thing I hope to see, which is another character debut that I really enjoyed in episode 2, was I want to see Boba go against this big Wookiee that was introduced as kind of the Hutt's bodyguard. I think that would be a very compelling fight. Maybe that's where we get to see that kind of fighting edge to Boba Fett again. So really looking forward to episode 3. I hope everybody's enjoying the Book of Boba Fett as much as I am. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. See you the next time, and may the Force be with you.